Hey, what's good, y'all? It's Whack, not Dak. So, he ended up having some life stuff go on. He ended up also losing some save data, so he's a little further behind on progress. So, as a friend, I decided I wanted to help step in and kind of come together with a build video for you today. I also kind of just wanted to give it a shot. I want to see how I did, right? So, we collaborated together to make this light shotgun build for you. This is something I was generally cooking up when playing PvP. I was getting dominated by Zimmermans. Let's just keep it real. So I wanted to try running something, and I couldn't really get everything right. I asked him to help me make something nice, and this is what we got. So let's go to the AC assembly. We start with dual Zimmermans, as I already mentioned. These things are monsters. They stagger like crazy. I'm going to pull up the AC specs, my bad. They stagger like an insane amount, and you just stagger somebody and pop them. I don't think they're as effective in team fights. And 1v1s, they're just super dominant. Most people will end up just running open field maps anyway, so not really much you can do about it. Which is, But you're not here for me talking about how I feel about the balance. You're here to actually find out the stats in the build. So right now you can see their attack power, their impact, it's all nice. Effective range of 184. You're not going to be landing most of the pellets at 184. You're usually going to be staying around like 130, 100 meters. And that's what this build's about, staying in that close range, right? Dual Zimmermans, as I already mentioned, and as for the back units, I'm actually using the needle gun instead of running, like, missiles. Missiles are a good alternative. You'll need to change around a little bit of the build, but I don't really like doing that. I feel like this is a right setup. And you have to play around the missile cooldowns, but they will give you a consistent stagger because missiles usually hit more than regular guns. And you won't need to swap weapons to do all that. But the needle gun does a lot of stagger. It's a very nice backup when you do not get the stagger. You will guaranteed stagger on dual Zimmermans on, like, light builds. Medium builds, you'll put them, like, right there. And that's what needle gun's for. Another alternative you can run is the Sanpu. This thing, really good. It's a 2-round burst pistol, and it does a decent amount of stagger per hit. I really like it. You could also run the Kokiyet. I don't really like it. I don't think it's that great for it. But that's it for the shoulder. As for the left back unit, I run Laser Slicer. This thing is a monster. I originally ran dual Zimmermans just by themselves, trying to run them like a dual Zimmerman, dual missile launchers, just straight clap people. It worked. And then I ran into a dude who ran a melee. He ran Pile Bunker. And I sat there and I went, damn, that is a really smart idea. So I ran Pile Bunker for a little while. And as I was playing with that, I was showing off a bunch of the melee. And I tried the Laser Slicer, and oh my god, this thing does damage. Not only does it do a lot of damage, it has damage reduction on the charge attack by 40%. It also reduces the stagger you take on the charge attack, which is really good. You're not going to be using it for that most of the time, but using it for the light melee and the amount of thrust this thing has. I run this with the Kikaku booster, which we'll see soon. It has 140 meters of thrust. It will connect from so far away. That's why I really like these things. The damage is really high, super, like, consistent hitbox. If somebody's, like, generally a little bit below you, you'll still be able to connect because of how wide the hitbox is. Really good. If you don't have it, other laser blades will fit. If you want to fit Pile Bunker because you don't have that, you have to change the helmet around a little bit, like, just change it to, like, the Tian King, and you'll be fine. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, like, general blades work. You're using this for your big stagger damage. As for helmets, I run Finder Eye. If you want to fit something more on this, you usually have to settle for the Tian King. Tian Chang, my bad. Really terrible attitude and really horrible AP. This thing is kind of just if you need to fit something. You generally, from what I can surmise, want to hover around 1500 attitude at least. 1420 works perfectly fine. But below that, you start running into a lot of issues. Chest piece, I run Ephemera. This thing is really good. You get it around the beginning of Chapter 4. Insanely good chest piece. What we're really looking at is a generator output adjustment. As you can see right here, the supply efficiency is really high. Other ones you could run is like Firmeza, which also fits weight, but the supply efficiency is not great. You really want to worry about this energy load down here. Having overhead gives you more efficiency, and the recharge delay, as you could assume, is how long until your fuel comes back. The efficiency is how fast it actually comes back, how quickly it refuels once it starts, which is why Ephemera is my go-to choice. As for arms, VP46D are really good because they give you really good accuracy with your firearm, and they have good melee. There are other choices, like if you want to just really focus on that melee damage, Basha is your best choice. You're not going to really land other things that much. That's if you want to run like maybe missiles, because you're not going to be really running the Vienta, the little needle gun. But melee specialization, higher melee damage, firearm specialization, higher accuracy, which is why I settled for the VP46D. These my go-to. They've been my go-to for so long. They work in, like, every situation. The recoil control's a little low, but breezing dual shotguns, that don't matter. As for legs, I like the Noctria 42E. These are really good because of their high jump distance and jump height. We're not leaping with this build, but that jump distance and jump height affects your quick boost side steps. It's close to a reverse joint, but it's a bipedal leg, so it doesn't actually leap you in the air. So it's really good for that. There are some other light legs, but I genuinely think that these things are the best for running a quick boost setup. It lets you stay on top of people really consistently. Booster, it's relatively interchangeable, but I like Kikaku to actually land the laser slicer a lot, because there'll be a lot of times where you'll quick boost, hit somebody, and then, oh, I'm far away, I can't hit them, but Kikaku got you covered. A lot of times people will be moving around, and they'll quick boost, you'll hit them with a shot as soon as they quick boost, and it's like, oh, they're far enough, they're too far away, I can't land it. So you really need to land that, right? Alula is really good for the really, really fast, like, quick boost reload time. You know, I didn't show the stats of Kikaku. It has the highest melee attack thrust by a long shot. The second highest is Gridwalker, which I don't even think compares, right? It's the difference of, like, 20-ish, like, 30-ish meters, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when we're talking about 140 meters to 125, it feels immense. It's actually not 125, it's 115. It's immense. As for the FCS, we're looking at the Ocellus. Another alternative is you could run the Abbott. Abbott's very good as well. I don't know, man. Extra medium range is really nice for whenever you're running a little bit outside that 130, but I found that Ocellus works fine. Abbott is if you don't have Ocellus, or if you really do not like that little bit of extra like work you have to put in just to stay close. As for generators, I don't think there's another like alternative. I think Mingtang is probably one of the best generators in the game. Really fast energy recharge delay and a really fast efficiency. It's really good. Expansion, whatever you want, man. I mean, I wouldn't run terminal armor, but that's a me thing. You get left with 1 HP, people are just going to run away and hit you with an SMG. Or shoot you with a shotgun from a mile away, because it doesn't matter, just hit you for 1. Pulse armor, really good for if you want to like get behind cover, pop it, and then start running at a dude. Pulse protection, you could run it if you really need cover that bad, but in a 1v1 situation, you won't really run it. But that's about it. I will show the full stats again. This build is really, really effective.